Hey, what's up, rock stars? It's Rox coming to you today with a review for Real Housewives of Atlanta, Season 12, Episode 21. I think next week is the finale, and then from what I understand, you guys tell me that they are doing a virtual reunion, I guess like a Zoom-type reunion. That should be interesting, so I'm looking forward to that. I'm ready for this to be over. Hopefully this Zoom reunion won't be 3 parts. That's a little bit much. Maybe we can do it in 2, but we'll see. Before I get started, you guys, a lot of people have been asking me to review the Clark Sisters movie. I hadn't planned to review it. I mean, I was going to talk about it in Top of the Blogs, and really not a real review, just telling you guys, how I felt about the movie. I guess that is a review, huh? But, when I watched it just to enjoy it. I wasn't really watching it as a reviewer, so I wasn't really trying to be critical or anything like that, or having that critical eye. But, I mean, if you guys really want me to do one, I can do one tomorrow. Not today, though, because I have to do 3 videos today. But, and this is Tuesday. So on Wednesday, I can do it if you guys want. Otherwise, I'll just throw it in with my Top of the Blogs, especially since Top of the Blogs really don't be having much to talk about other than the Rona, And interestingly enough, YouTube has loosened up its guidelines on the Rona and given us a little bit more leeway in speaking. It just can't be, it can't be scary, depressing, panic type videos. But if it's just informational, or if it's just you talking about your experience, then you can do something like that. So, most of the Top of the Blogs is Rona laced, but yeah, so that's what's going on there. But yeah, if you want me to, y'all just let me know. Either I can leave it in Top of the Blogs, or I can do a separate one by itself tomorrow. Okay, so you guys put that down in the comments and the review for this episode. Let's get to it, shall we? Did you guys notice I put a little makeup on? He was trying to give y'all unplain face this week, especially since I got to do 3 in a row. Ain't nobody trying to look at this all plain ass face for 3 videos. So anyway, you guys, Eva is moving. And thank God for that, because, child, they've been jammed up in this little tiny place. So I was just like, they made sure they didn't go over her house too much, which is not no slight. Shit, they've been moving around, trying to figure out what they're going to do. I mean, I get it. So, but it's 5 people now, okay? So we need more space, obviously. So, yeah, Mike is happy that she let him lead the family in this, and she was pregnant and having a baby, and all of that. So she probably didn't get to do as much as I'm sure she helped pick out the house and all of that. But as far as the logistics, maybe Mike was the one that took over that, and good for him. They seem to be happy. I'm happy for her. I know Marlo should be happy too. So she's officially a homeowner at 35 years old. She's proud of herself. The house is nice, okay? Not grand scale like some of the other girls' houses, but it is definitely a nice home. It looks like she's moved out there by Cynthia, and I know Cynthia lives somewhere near Sandy Springs, Roswell, which is a nice area for sure. So good for her. Speaking of Cynthia, Cynthia does come by. Cynthia is happy for her as well. She's wondering if she's going to be safe there. And yeah, Eva says she does feel safe, from her crazy baby daddy, Kevin McCall. That is the oldest, her little girl's father. And even though she's taken the steps to remove him completely from the little girl's life, because of their history. But yeah, she feels safe there. It's all good. Now, Cynthia's telling her that she might be moving to LA. Eva was like, girl, I just moved down the street from you, really? But yeah, Cynthia's saying that all of her family is in LA, including Noelle. Noelle is now wanting to be an actress, and her opportunities, I guess, are in Los Angeles at the time. So she is staying in the home that Cynthia and Mike have together out there. I'm not sure if they bought a home together or if he had the home and she moved in with him there, but whatever, the girl is staying there. So now all of Cynthia's people, if you considering her extended family through Mike, they're all in LA. She's the only one in Atlanta, but she says she doesn't want to give up Lake Bailey because, that's her home. I said, Reed, she doesn't want to give up Real Housewives of Atlanta because that's her check. That's her money. Okay. But she also knows that it's difficult to be bicoastal, especially when you're trying to do this show, because, on a normal year, when we're not dealing with the Rona, they are recording, May-ish through November. So that is it's a rigorous schedule. Then there's a lot of PR, and they have to be going to New York and being on Watch What Happens Live and different things. So she would be traveling a lot if she was going back and forth, spending part of the year at least in Atlanta to record and all that. So she might have to give up Atlanta, and I don't know if she would end up on another series. I don't know if I can see Cynthia on Beverly Hills, Orange County. Yeah, I don't know about any of that. So she has something that she has to think about, obviously. So then they start talking about Kenya and how she was over at Kenya's house. We'll talk about that in a minute. She was over at Kenya's house helping her pack up Mark's stuff. Eva was like, damn, that is really, really sad. Like, even with the drama that she and Kenya had in the beginning, she's not really hoping for somebody to be losing their marriage like this. And Cynthia just tells her it appears that, Kenya wants it, Mark not so much. But she tells her, Kenya's a catch, and I'm sure plenty of men out there want her, so she shouldn't have any problems getting anybody else if it don't work out with Mark. I was like, well, I mean, should I point out that Kenya is 50 years old and has been having problems thus far? She's definitely a catch if we're talking about physicality. She's a beautiful woman. But I don't know. Maybe I feel like Kenya probably could stand some counseling and maybe working on herself. She has some deep-rooted issues that stem from her childhood and, what she's dealt with as her, with her mother and all of that, that I'm sure has affected her and probably has affected her choosing men, the right men, So she's a catch, but she's, like all of us, could stand some little bit of work, right? Now, speaking of Kenya, Kandi drops by Kenya's home. Okay, hey girl, you look so cute. Okay, look at you in your plaid. Come on in. They sit down and Kandi was just like, Todd, just let me have it. Well, what happened? Well, she tells her about the conversation that she and Todd had last week, where he was upset with her because Don Juan seems to keep her, busy when she's home from the Shy. And Kenya was like, oh, really? Well, what did Todd have to say about that? Well, what didn't he say, girl? He had me in tears, which is not really hard when it comes to Kandi. So then, of course, Kandi starts getting verklempt. She started going and she was like, no, you're not crying, are you? I just feel guilty when it comes to helping my family. I said, don't cry, Kandi. Well, she tells us in the confessional that Kandi actually feels quite responsible, not just for her family, but for other people. She hires a lot of her friends and, she just wants to make sure that everybody is staying busy and getting the income and all of that. So she kind of feels like she is responsible for making sure that everybody gets a little bit of the bag, not just her, although she is the biggest bag getter. What it boils down to is what is the priority. Now, these sex scenes that she has to do, well, of course, Todd is not happy about that, but I don't really even think that Todd is that upset about the sex scenes because we are all grown and we all realize that she has a job to do. She's an actress. That's not the issue, okay? The issue is everything else that Kandi has put her, involved herself in, especially when that acting gig keeps her away from Atlanta and keeps her busy, okay? So when you come home, how about a little downtime? Kenya's saying, girl, I know you need to do your acting thing, but you're going to have to probably listen to Todd. I mean, you don't want to end up like me, which I thought was very big of Kenya. Okay. That was a real conversation. Like, she wishes that Mark was a lot more like Todd in certain ways because Mark just has never seemed to really care. Speaking of Mark, how is he doing? What's going on with y'all? Well, Kenya says that she and Mark are not doing well. They don't speak, until he knows how to talk to her like he got some goddamn sense. He can't come in the house, so he's blocked. But then Kenya says she just doesn't know where it all went wrong. At one point they were so happy and everything was really good. And then they got married. Because it seems like it's been bad ever since. But from what I understand, somebody told me that them two are like fully back together now. So what's tea on that, y'all? I didn't have time to look it up, but did they finally work it out? I mean, I would like to see them make it. You know, Kenya seemed like she finally got what she wanted. And I guess maybe they worked the kinks out. My Kenya stands out there, Team Twirl. Y'all let me know, did them two make it back together? So anyway, Kenya tells her, girl, you better just go be with your man. He's busy today. He's already at work. He's working. Okay, well, go and take him his favorite food. What's that? Salad. Okay, well, get him a salad. Take it down there to him. Let him be happy. Go be with your man. Now, later on, we see that Kandi, she's in Chicago, but Todd, he had this great idea where they would have a movie theme, like a movie set theme for the baby shower. For the baby shower, you guys. I was just like, really? For the shower? Who's doing all of this? Anyway. I'm in Chicago, so I'm going to let Todd take the lead. Okay. Plus, she knows that Don Juan is there, so everything will be fine. I said, ooh, that was a little bit of shade. I would have been mad if I saw that part, if I was Todd. Like, bitch, I don't need no damn Don Juan to help me out. But anyway, this session that Kandi wants to have with the counselor, you guys know, she said that me and Todd are not having any problems, but I feel like if we can do this ahead of time, we'll catch the problem before it starts. Okay, they need a little bit of counseling. So Michelle, that's his name, he's from London. He is going to come and talk to them about their impending or possible problems. Okay, so when Michelle gets there, they sit down, you know, and after he tells them how he's qualified, you know, he wants to know a little bit about them. Well, they have 3 kids, and they have another one on the way. Okay, the newest baby that's coming, obviously, she's not pregnant. It's a surrogate. He says, okay, so are we both excited about this? Yes, we planned this. We're excited about it, but it's stressful sometimes. And every now and then, me and Todd go off on each other. And it typically spawns off of something work-related. Todd actually said that he felt like they love each other, for sure, love each other to death, but they consider themselves really bomb-ass business partners. Which could be a good thing in a marriage, but it also could be a difficult in a marriage if that is the priority. So Todd just lays it out. She got the acting thing. That's fine. Okay. But when she comes home, she has all of these friends that have all of these events that she has prioritized over kind of like home time. You know, she has kids. She has a family here. You know, if she feels like she has to go to them and her family is home, she has kids, he knows how it affects her kids. You know, Ace wants his mom. He's a baby. Maybe not so much as Riley. Riley is used to it by now. But Todd just doesn't want her to be feeling like she has to do all this for everybody else and not for her own household, her own family. Kandi is over there crying. You know, really, what can she say? It's all true. I do realize that I have a problem with balance. She wants to be able to support everybody, but Todd says she's choosing everybody over the family. And really, Kandi feels like Todd is doing the same thing. Well, he himself said that they're really good business partners. Okay. And I mean, damn, if your wife ain't there, what else is there for you to do? If you're not just sitting home with your children, then you do have to, you get to work too. Fuck. And especially with Todd feeling like he has to prove himself to everybody. So she's at work, he's at work. You know, he's like, we on some old conquer the world type shit. And, you know, their marriage is slipping through the cracks. Kandi mentions the issues with his daughter and how they have parenting differences. We as parents, I'm sure many of us can relate in this sense. You know, my parenting style is a lot different than Mr.'s parenting style when it comes to certain things. But you just have to kind of learn how to let everybody parent the way that they do, as long as it's not harming the kids. You know, I kind of just let Mr. do his thing. He lets me do my thing. We don't really get into it with each other over the kids. Okay, those his kids too. So, I mean, he gonna do what he thinks is best for his kids too, you know. But anyway, it's different because is his daughter, not Kandi's. So Kandi was just like, I wanted to give his daughter, money, my stepchild, money for her birthday. And Todd was adamant, hell no, she's not doing what she's supposed to do. She does not get any money. Okay. Which can be harsh. But you got to remember, men, my husband's a Leo just like Todd, okay? So I can see my husband saying certain things like that too. It would be different in my case because these my kids. So fuck, if you don't want to give them money, I'm going to still do what I want to do if it's their birthday. But in this case, he was like, no, she don't need no money, If I was Kandi, I probably would have just slipped it to her, on the sly and been like, don't say nothing. But then even that can cause problems in the future, right? You just got to do what you think is best. But I mean, in this case, Kandi backed off, but it bothered her. She supported what he said. No, fuck that. She don't get no money. Okay, well, how's the sex life? Well, I don't think that the sex has suffered. It's just we not having it as much. I said, what? Not the Tuckers. Well, shit, they so busy. When can they fuck? Well, the counselor tells them that they need to make time for each other. Okay, I think they both already know that. Maybe it helps when somebody that's outside of the party tells you that. We'll see. I mean, Kandi and Todd seem to be okay. Todd seems to be a really good dude to me. I know a lot of you guys in my comments are not really Todd fans, but I don't have a problem with them, and I would like to see them work it out. Kandi has a good guy in Todd, so hopefully hopefully she'll get it in gear. Okay, and realize what's important, because it's plenty of people that lose a good thing. All right, you guys, so earlier when I was talking about Cynthia going over Kenya's, okay, so Cynthia's over at Kenya's home, and Kenya, I guess, has now decided that she's going to pack up Mark's stuff. And when Cynthia gets there, Cynthia's shocked because she's on her third floor closet, and it's all organized. Kenya's on one side, his on the other side, and Cynthia was like, he had all this shit here. I mean, the nigga was never here. And Kenya was like, he was here. He was always here. He lived here. Okay, I don't even know what to believe with Kenya and Mark's story. It's so weird to me, their story, because the conversation between her and Cynthia, she's telling Cynthia how she really wants it. She's not sure if Mark even cares, and then she doesn't have any kind of way to get to know him out of just her and him. She's not allowed to talk to his family, his parents. And Cynthia was like, what? They have a grandchild, Brooklyn, and they never met her. Like, it doesn't make sense. And then Kenya doesn't have a relationship. But what is also strange to me is that we never get any further clarification on any of this. Does Mark not talk to his parents? The reason why Kenya doesn't talk to his parents? Or has he, restricted her or told her that she can't talk to them? I mean, do the parents not want to talk to Kenya? Because the parents are grown. They can contact her if they want to. It's way more to that story that we are not getting. So it's not making it doesn't make sense to me. I know we all old enough to know that when you get married to somebody and you ain't met their parents, that there is a problem there. All right. If they alive and well somewhere and your spouse is hiding them or keeping them away from you, there's an issue. And I would have at least been like, I need to know your parents before we get married. So yeah, that story is not complete. But Cynthia's just like, girl, fuck him. That's her feelings. I was like, ooh, now you can't be saying stuff like that about people's man. You have got to remain non-biased on these things. But, Cynthia's just like, you my girl. Like, girl, you ain't got to put up with this. He doesn't know if she's at the fuck him stage. She starts crying. This is just not what she pictured. Cynthia just says, well, girl, I'm going to pray for you guys. I mean, if he wants it, you want it, then you guys have to want it together and work on it together. Otherwise, I'm going to pray that you have the strength to really go through with this divorce, because you shouldn't be dealing with something like this. All right, you guys, Nene. It's her and Greg's anniversary, and this is the most cringiest scene. It kind of reminds me of the scene when Peter and Cynthia, it was their anniversary. It was right along those lines again. Not quite as bad as Mama D and Ernest in the bed, when she was like rubbing his nipples and licking his nipples. Not on that level, but it was still bad enough, child. So look, she gets all in her lingeries, and Mr. Gregg, he got on his chic clothes, full chic outfit, off white. He looked nice. But I guess this is his first time back in the bed with her because he's been living down in the basement or, whatever. I think that's what they said in the thing. So we celebrating. Okay. Nene said it's been tough, that in the past they because of the cancer and the communication was bad, and then the sex suffered, and then she was feeling like nobody was understanding her story, and then they talked about divorcing, and then they talked about open marriage. They've been through a lot in this last year, but we made it back together. Okay. So congratulations to the leaks on that. I guess this is somewhere around the 22nd anniversary, 21st, 22nd anniversary. And she's got it all romantical in there. So she's like, so what you want to do? Okay. You want to watch a movie? And he was like, let's make a movie. I said, let's not. Child, we don't want to see that. Then it will be on the Mama D and Ernest level. And ain't nobody trying to see that. But, good for them. They seem to be happy. Did you guys hear that they played Nene's song? I was like, oh, that's a cute little catchy song, definitely better than Don't Be Tardy for the Party. So, we'll see. But I guess Nene supposedly has a couple of songs coming out. I can't wait to hear that. But that first little song, it's a catchy little bop. I just feel like I'm jumping around because I didn't put my notes in order now that I realize it's Cynthia. Cynthia's at the wine cellar, the place that she owns. Mal is running it. Mal has the unfortunate synthetic hair that Cynthia has had. I was like, who put that hair in their head? Okay, even though it's better that she has it pulled up and everything, I was just like, oh, I can just imagine that shit being so ratty and messy after a couple of weeks of laying on it and everything, all them curls and all them colors, and I hate it. And I think Mal and Cynthia both be beautiful when they hair be right. Okay, this is wrong. But anyway, Mal is, she's running the place for Cynthia. She's her sister, so she's not gonna look at Cynthia as the boss like that. She got a response for everything that Cynthia want to happen around there. Cynthia feel like everybody ought to be working when the work is there, and Mal is trying to tell her that no, these people got to have 2 days off. Cynthia's like, are you sure about that? I'm gonna have to see what the labor laws are. These motherfuckers, if they working 6 days a week but not 40 hours, then maybe it can work out that way. I don't know. It's different for different states. But anyway, they're just talking about LA and the fact that everybody is in LA and she's the only one here. And actually, this is when we find out that Noelle is in LA and living with Mike. All right. But again, the reason why she doesn't want to leave Atlanta is because this is her money. Okay. And that's a big deal. So she don't know what she gonna do. Mal said, well, you can't be in a marriage and you guys are on two different sides of the United States. That ain't gonna work either. Mal knows that because she was here and her husband was across seas playing basketball, right? And their marriage did not survive it. So Mal is just giving her good sound advice, girl, that ain't what you want. Cynthia knows that, but she gonna have to try to figure something out. I said, girl, you better get one of these gigs really, really off the ground, okay, before you decide to give up that big check with Real Housewives of Atlanta. All right, you guys, and then lastly, we see Porsha with the superintendent. They're at the house, cute little family, taking pictures of little PJ. Okay, look at that. All right, click, click, click. Anyway, they put the baby down, and she and the super, they sit down for a nice little lunch. Well, what's going on with you, Super? Well, he's still working in Atlanta. He's still traveling out to Duluth, and that is really wearing him out. All right. It looks like he's only there on the weekends. Remember, he didn't get rid of his place in Atlanta. We found that out last season. So I guess he moved back into that place. Porsha was just like, this ain't really working. You need to be here with your family. This is where you want to be. Your family is here. What are you talking about? No, that is not where he wants to be. He actually wants to be in Atlanta, and we know this, okay? This conversation went from kind of prepared for the show to it got real up in there. Bottom line is this. Men already don't like moving into women's houses, okay? They would much rather get a home together with you, or you would move into their house. I know it's a double standard or whatever, but that's just kind of how men are. He moved into that house with her when he already didn't want to move to Duluth from Atlanta. He moved all his shit out there, and then when shit went bad, granted it is his fault because his ass was cheating, and I don't know what he thought, but anyway, he got put out the house. Men do not like to get put out the house. And when you put a man out, whether they was right or wrong, them motherfuckers ain't coming back there, okay? Not to live 100%, because you not gonna never make me have not a place to stay. Of course, he had his place in Atlanta still. But you know what I'm saying? Like, what if he didn't have a place in Atlanta? Then he would have just been he would have just been SOL. If he had a house together with her, then he'd be like, this my house. I ain't leaving. You ain't got to leave, but I ain't got to leave either. That's just how men think, okay? So that's why he had an issue with coming back. He ain't said all of that, but that's what it was, you guys. Porsha just doesn't understand. I mean, what are you talking about? You need a person to be around all the time that you are trying to build a relationship with. He doesn't sound like he wants to do it. He kind of says that he's fine where he is and she's fine where she is. Why can't we just keep this the way that it is? And then when we talk about the marriage, the super just wants to run off and get married. She was just like, no, I don't want to do that because I want to have all my friends and family there. Why are you doing this? Before you didn't even care. You wanted to do it big just like I wanted to do it big. You wanted a big gender reveal. You wanted a big baby shower. You wanted everything big until your ass got caught cheating. And now you want to switch it up. You just feel like, why he got to do all this for everybody else? Okay. I was just like, yeah, I'm really feeling like Dennis is moving further and further away from the marital idea, which is unfortunate, you know. And I think Porsha realized that this conversation was going to get a little too real for this camera, what she really wanted. So she was just like, you know what? I'm going to stop talking because you want to be mean. And you can be mean over there all by yourself. Okay, so she went over to the kitchen, and you know, he was like, damn, I don't even get none of the cookies. No, you don't even get a fucking cookie the way you acting, okay, in front of these damn cameras. I was just like, I don't know, you know, when he brought up that prenup, and I don't know if she was feeling the prenup idea, like all of the things that he was saying, he was not trying to sugarcoat it for this TV show today. Okay, so I really honestly don't even know if I feel like the super is really in that place to be getting married now. Now I just feel like, girl, y'all got a lot of shit to work out before we walk down that aisle. All right, you guys, that's it. Let me get off of here because I gotta do Insecure and Real Housewives. Nope. And Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Make sure that you rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I'm itsrox. The channel is for itsrox. Everything else I do will be in the bottom bar. All right. So I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, and I plan on doing the same. Till next time, rock stars. Bye.